let's talk about trade. And as we look at the latest data from the Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria, this is the second quarter of 2024. Foreign trade in goods statistics. So, total merchandise trade, Q2 2024, 31.8 trillion, 3.76% decline from where we were in Q1, but 150% rise from the corresponding period in 2023. You can see the export and import numbers there. Trade surplus of 6.95 trillion when you subtract imports of 12.4 from exports of 19.4. At the bottom of the screen there, that's the 6.94 trillion. So that surplus is a 6.6% increase from the prior quarter, where we had a 6.52 trillion surplus. The dominance of crude oil exports remains a key discussion in this performance. 14.5 trillion, 75% of total exports were crude. Non-oil, as you can see there, approximately 4.9 trillion. That made up the remaining 25% of that. We move on from there, and I think we're going to be looking at the number of countries, export destinations. You will notice there is no African country there. Export destinations, Spain was number one, United States, France, India, and the Netherlands as far as exports. As far as imports, no surprise, China, 24.2% of the total, then Belgium, India, the United States, and the Netherlands. And I think agriculture, as we're going to talk about finished goods here, when you look at the main agriculture exports in the second quarter, it's still the same story. Superior quality cocoa beans, cashew nuts, cocoa beans, sesame seeds, cocoa butter, flowers, and soya beans. And at the bottom there, I really like seafood, so shrimps and prawns. Let's talk to our special guest, who is an author and an expert on trade. He's written about 8 books on them. Dr. Obiora Madu is the founder and chair of the export consulting firm Multimix Academy. Dr. Obiora, good morning to you.
Morning, Rotus.
You were at the Zenith Bank Exports event. That's where we met. You were fantastic. You were on the panel. You talk so much about trade. So I'm very happy to have you, sir. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Rotus.
And thanks for your book.
Thank you.
Now, I do want to talk about the crude oil dominating trade. It's again and again and again we talk about this. What do you make of this, yet again, being 75% of exports?
Rotus, it's so sad. It's so sad that we're where we are. Because at independence, agriculture was generating 93.7% foreign exchange for this country. And then came oil. At one point in time, we said that it's not money that is a problem. It was actually what to do with money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, here we are. Some school of thought said that oil is a cause. And I did an article sometime about 15 years ago where I said that this oil has killed us. And some people didn't understand it. What I mean is that without oil, we can really do a lot better than we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Nigeria is like a man who has a tap in his parlor. If he pushes a bucket under it and turns it on, dollar will start to drop.
Yeah.
And then you ask the man to get into the farm to soil his hands. That is where we are.
You can use the tap. Yeah.
That's where we are. Because you will be surprised to know that there's a provision for a certain percentage of oil proceeds to be spent to develop non-oil. That law has never seen the light of the day.
Yeah.
Because if we have done that, non-oil would have moved up almost at par with oil. Oil would just be a matter of supplementing what we are doing. But AGOA, 25 years gone. 90-something% of the figure against Nigeria's name is crude. So, and the idea of diversification, we cannot be serious with it as long as the oil is running. That is the problem.
Yeah. I have to bring you to other current matters going on, getting everybody's temperature on this. The Dangote refinery, of course, they've started shipping out crude, refined petroleum, PMS, petrol, out. It's been a bit of controversy with the price, but, you know, what do you make of this? I mean, you didn't see it, it's a public holiday, yeah, but hopefully you didn't see too many fuel queues on your way here, right? So what do you make of that milestone, if you will?
Rotus is very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate that God has blessed us with such a project the biggest in Africa, probably in most part of the world.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand. You see, the problem is that when an organization is structured to fail, even a genius as the chief executive, he will not be able to make it to work. That is the problem. NNPC is the most opaque organization.
Yeah.
Look at National Oil of Malaysia. Every minute, you know the quantity of oil that's leaving the country. When did we ever know at any day that we did the crude export that this is exactly the quantity that left and this is exactly the amount that we receive for it? So this current controversy is absolutely unnecessary and then arising from that structure I talked about that was designed to fail. I think that is what the problem is. It's very unfortunate.
But you think with at least with the private, with Dangote refinery taking over that now, you think we should get some more transparency on consumption and pricing and all those things going forward? Absolutely,
because we really never had correct figures. I mean, I just read the statement from Dangote concerning a statement issued by the spokesman of NNPC and all that. In fact, at times I just pity Dangote. Because here is a big opportunity for us to get out from the mess that we have been, and yet we are just turning it around.
Okay, well, let's get back to trade. Non-oil exports amounting to 4.8 trillion, 25%. How do we, okay, so you already alluded to this in your first answer. How do we grow that figure from that 25% to possibly more when we talk about trade?
Like, it goes back to my first answer. We are not serious about non-oil. Watch the trend in Nigeria. When oil prices drop, you hear everybody will jump up and start shouting diversification, non-oil, diversification. As soon as the oil price inches up, everybody goes to sleep again. So if you are not consistent and you are not deliberate, you can't achieve a good result. So that is the challenge that we have. Rotus, we are the largest producer of, say, 4, 5, or 6 agri-products. Check the export market. You won't find us.
Right.
Like
cashew nuts, sesame seeds.
Okay, that one we're even exporting. The shea nuts.
Right.
We do 60% of the world shea nut. If you look for the exporters, you find Burkina Faso, you find Ghana, you find Mali. It's so unfortunate. People have to move products from Ghana to be able to ship. And I think one of the biggest things is that we are demarketing ourselves. In the international market, you must prove who you are. Your integrity quotient must be very, very high. That is part of the problem. I mean, as an exporter, you call somebody, you say, where are you calling from? You say, before you finish Nigeria.
They want the hang of the
So that is the problem. So exporters are walking a very tight rope, getting international markets. When the people agree, they won't give you a letter of credit. They say, well, ship on open account and the rest of it. And you know how dangerous it is when you are dealing with people you don't know.
When we look at those top 10 agricultural products, we're already talking about sesame seeds, superior quality cashew nuts. It's still raw materials, right? And again, at the Export Council, or rather the forum where you sat on, we talked about finished goods and like getting chocolates from cocoa. So how do we make that transition? Is there an electricity issue, or how do you transition to finished goods away from this list we're seeing here that's always dominating agriculture?
Rotus, you know the problem? There's no problem with any of our commodities. There's no problem with converting them, or rather adding value. The problem is with us as a people. I'll tell you why. In 1990, I was still in the banking sector. There was an ADB export stimulation loan guaranteed by government. The whole idea, 1990, was value addition. In fact, at one time, cocoa was banned. Raw cocoa was banned.
Wow.
But it was quickly lifted. The only one you can say that is banned as raw now is palm kernel. So 41 companies were set up from those loans.
Wow.
As we speak,
Yeah.
41 of them are dead.
Are gone. Yikes.
So tell me, I mean, when you ship raw material, you ship jobs.
Right.
And we are looking for employment. So I don't understand.
I get you.
So the challenge is, yeah, manufacturing in Nigeria is a problem of its own. But it is going on. It is going on.
Yeah.
But apart from electricity, logistics infrastructure, because the real killer is logistics costs, both for manufacturers of other goods and those who want to get into value addition. So if we want to do that, we intentionally design policies, provide. Look, 12 incentives were documented when NEPC was set up.
Yep.
How many years down the line? Only EEG, Export Expansion Grant, and constantly with challenges. The other 11 never worked. Elsewhere in the world, exporters are the geese that lay the golden egg. They provide them incentives, create an enabling environment, and do a whole lot for them to do. But here, exporters are practically on their own. So that's it.
You've talked about, I want to get into the contributors to GDP as far as Q2 was concerned. So I don't know if we have our pie charts, but industries is the leader there, well over 59% contributing to GDP. And then I think, services, excuse me. Services, and then agriculture, I think at 22%, and then industries. You've spoken, again, at the Export Forum, you talked very passionately about how Nigeria should not just focus on commodities, but focus on exporting services. Can you please share that with our audience about why you believe there's something there for us to be able to export services?
Since 2004, I've been a member of the Services Export Group in ITC Geneva. In 2006, ITC got my services to develop the first document of Nigeria's services export capacity. Then, a couple of years, Commonwealth got a consultant to develop services export strategy for Nigeria. And then in 2015, Commonwealth got my services to develop training package for Nigerians in services export. And after developing that, we did some pilot training, and then Commonwealth said, Nigeria, here you are. You guys can take it from here.
Yeah.
That's where it has been since then. Services with our about 60% population of youth. Look, when Aganga Williams was a minister, there was a research. Which jobs, which industries will give us the largest number of jobs within the shortest possible time? There were three. One was outsourcing, which is services, construction, and entertainment. We had 2 meetings. The third one never happened. So I'm saying that if you look at the world, look at what India gained from outsourcing, and is still gaining. In fact, I don't think they're still leading because so many countries have seen the benefits. In fact, most of the least developed countries are doing better in services than in products.
Dr. Obiora, look, I have to have you back. We have to have you back and have a more in-depth conversation. In fact, next time we have you on the show, we're going to talk about how we can build exports in the services sector because we're out of time. But I appreciate you coming on the show. And once again, you're an author of about 8 books. Thank you for this latest one that you gave. I'm going to get into this. So please, let's have you back, all right? Dr. Obiora, thank you so much for joining us. CEO, chairman of the Multimix Academy.